So I'm sitting here today. I have Joe Papa on with me, and he's with the Society of Italian American Businessmen. And we're going to be talking about a tournament they have coming up this weekend and maybe some other surprises for you all. So first of all, how you doing, Joe?
I'm doing really well, Rich. How about you this morning?
Man, you know what? I just put on 10 pounds just talking to you before we started recording, talking about cannolis and everything, man. It's like Santa's getting ready, baby.
That is the challenge. Hanging out with Italians at Italian events, we tend to eat a lot.
Oh my God. And I've always said this. You can find, it's a true Italian restaurant when you get more than you can eat.
Oh yeah.
And I've always noticed it whenever I went to Giovanni's, even down here, Sapore di Mare, you just, you're full and you still have food left.
Yeah, true Italian restaurant. If you're not planning at least 2 to 3 hours for dinner, you're not going to the right spots.
Exactly. Exactly. So you guys have something big coming up this weekend, right?
Yeah, we do. So this weekend is our second annual bocce tournament and family picnic. And it really was put around. We started this last year in preparation for another event we'll get into in a little while, but we did it last year at Mike DeLuca's horse farm, and it was kind of more of a closed event. We only had about 150 people there. We wanted to see what we could do and how we could do it and how it went. And we had bands playing. It was a 1-day event. We had bands playing on Saturday. We had food trucks and that kind of stuff. But it was pretty low key. 150 people ish. And this year, in preference or in preparation for the larger event we've got coming next year that we'll talk about, we got the equestrian center. So this year it's actually a 2-day event. And so last year what we wound up doing is we wound up sponsoring, or the tournament was for trying to send some Maryland Special Olympians, bocce Special Olympians, to the national show in Florida, or national event in Florida. And so we raised money to send a couple of athletes to Florida to participate in a national event. So this year, what we're actually doing is on October 1st, Saturday, October 1st, we have an open event. So it's 32 teams. It goes from 12 to 7. We've got music all day, live acts all day, and a little bit of DJing in between when they're on breaks. We've got food trucks. Two food trucks, and then we also have a dessert truck. So in case you're, Italian ices and funnel cakes and all that kind of stuff, the Snack Shack is doing that. Brookside Market is going to be handling all the Italian food and the brick oven pizzas. We've got a lot of beer, wine, refreshments, that kind of stuff. So it's a fun day for the family. And again, there's 32 teams playing for prize money. So we're giving away, first place is $800. Second place is $600, and third place is $400. So we'll have a pretty good showing. We've got people coming in from the city and all over the place that are going to be playing. And again, we're doing this at the Equestrian Center. And then day 2 on October the 2nd, Sunday, Mike Ray, who handles the Special Olympics bocce for the area, for the region, they'll be doing their regional tournament. So we'll have kids coming up from Baltimore City, kids from Harford County. I think there may be even some from Anne Arundel County coming up, and they're going to be playing in a 32 team Special Olympics tournament.
And that's on Sunday?
Decide. That's on Sunday, yes.
Oh,
and so same thing. It'll be live music all day. There'll be drinks. There'll be refreshments, that kind of stuff. So a good 2 days of family fun. One is more around us raising money, for Special Olympics. The other one is coming out and really supporting the Special Olympiads on Sunday. Very, very inexpensive. I mean, it's $10 for a Saturday ticket. It's $15 or $10 for a 1-day ticket. It's $15 for both days. So again, it's just
that's not bad at all.
People come on out. I mean, you got live music all day.
Yeah.
If you think about it, it's going to be beautiful weather. It usually is around this time of year outside, and it's just one of those things where it started out as this, and we're going to continue doing this year after year. So
good.
We've gotten tied in with Mike, and Mike does the officiating for us, who's the Special Olympics officiator. He does that. He officiates for us on Saturday, and then we'll have a bunch of SIAB volunteers out there helping the guys on Sunday. So
I didn't realize that bocce was part of the Special Olympics. How long has that been?
Apparently for a while. I mean,
Wow.
they have a national they had a national tournament last year, and again, I think it's every 3 or 4 years they do it because I think Mike said this one here will be determined to who goes to the regionals, which will then be fought out for who goes to the nationals. So there, I mean,
That
that's
is
it's a pretty
awesome.
big thing. Yeah.
That is I never knew that, and I was involved with Special Olympics for the longest time growing up. Yeah, because they used to have huggers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and me and my family, we were always huggers, and but I never knew that. Maybe it's
Yeah.
because my niece didn't part or my cousin didn't partake in the bocce, who knows?
Well, bocce. People think of bocce as being an Italian game, but
Mhm.
it really. I mean, if you think about it, I did a spot here a couple days ago, but if you think about it, bocce is one of the oldest recorded games in history. It's probably the oldest game in history.
I didn't
If
know
you,
that.
if you think about it, it dates back to 5,000 BC ish around Egypt and Greece when they were throwing polished stones at another stone. Just similar to bocce, right? And then
Wow.
to date, all the way back to where in the Roman times, they're the ones that really started developing bocce the way it is today. Okay, so you're going back a couple thousand years. Bocce became a full, league in, I think it was 1947. It was the first 15 team league in Italy at a Rivoli. And that was also the year 1947 is when they started having the world bocce tournaments or
Wow.
championships. So it's been around a while, and I don't have any hard facts on this, but I've read over time that outside of soccer, bocce is played by more people across the globe than any other sport.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
No idea. Wow. So it's a they have world tournaments for this still?
yeah, they
You
do.
you gotta be kidding me. What's the purse like?
I have no idea, but I was kind of amazed that it's been almost 75 years now. They've been doing that. So
Alright, Joe, let's put together a team because I think I might be able to do better at bocce than I can cornhole.
well, it's pretty similar, but yeah, it's all good. That and horseshoes. You take horseshoes and cornhole together, and it's pretty close to bocce.
Yeah, but with bocce, at least I'm rolling something, I can knock another ball out,
That's right.
right?
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, with what do you ca cornhole, I can't figure that one just that irritates me. I stink at that. I didn't realize that this is gonna be a two-day event. I love the fact that, with the Special Olympians that, they're gonna have that day to themselves, more or less, for it,
Yes.
and it's on the circuit for them to go to the nationals. That is awesome. And this is only your 2nd year doing it?
It's only our second year doing it on Sunday, so we've got a couple different things going on. We've got so
Mhm.
you can sponsor a Special Olympics player.
Good.
We have those things which actually get you a picture with the player and that kind of stuff. We also have people sponsoring the bocce teams, right, for another thing, and get your name or sign where they're
Right.
playing at, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, we'll have plenty of volunteers out there. All of the food for the Special Olympians is being picked up, so they're not paying any money for any food. Now their families are, but the
Yeah.
Olympians themselves, we're picking up the tab for all of that. So it's going to be a really fun day, and I think we had one young lady come out last year. She kind of did the kickoff, the announcement, that kind of stuff. I think she had a great day. So I'm looking forward to having 100+ bocce players out there on Sunday just
Wow.
having a fantastic time. So
You know what? Something that so those of you watching, if you've never been to anything with the Special Olympics, do yourself a favor and get out there because to watch these Olympians play is simply amazing. And I've always said this, no matter what, when you see, especially somebody with Down syndrome, I think when they smile, I think it's the most genuine smile. It makes you feel so good because it's just it's hard to explain, but to watch them and the talent they have,
yeah,
it's like, that's why I don't like that term disability. I like differing abilities because
yes,
there's stuff that they could do better than a lot of
absolutely.
us. A lot of
Absolutely.
us.
And I'm
Simply
sure they will
amazing.
have teams there that will play better than some of the teams on Saturday.
I know they would embarrass me. They would tear me up without a doubt because I'm gonna have to try that. I'm gonna have to get a bocce set for my backyard now because that's played on
Yeah.
grass, right?
You can play it on grass. You can play it on crushed stone. You can play it on a lot of different surfaces. You can play it on like indoor outdoor carpet. It's played as long as the ball will roll. Right. You can't obviously
Yeah,
can't play really high grass or real muddy grass, but
right.
you could certainly that's the other reason why I think it's played so often because you can play it in a lot of different areas, right? You don't need a full blown bocce court to do it. The regulation size courts, depending upon where you look. I mean, most places they're 91 by 13, which is an awful long way to go.
Whoa.
We're going to have them a little bit shorter that day. I think they're going to be 12 by 80, I believe, is what we're going to do there. So that'll be about 10 feet shorter than normal. Some places you look at, they say that the regulation is 87, 87 feet. But all in all, you just need an area between 60 and 90 feet and an area, between 10 and 13 feet wide, and you can make yourself a bocce court.
I didn't realize they were that long.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess I can't put one in my backyard then. Scratch that.
Well, you could put a smaller one out there and practice. I mean, that's part of it is making sure that
Yeah.
you get the ball rolling to where you want it to.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. I'll practice on a short one, and then when I go to compete against somebody and see this thing that's double the length, I'm going to be like, I can only roll it halfway. I'm sorry.
Well, a bocce court is also like a pool table, really. I mean, so if you think about it, every time you go to a different place to shoot pool or do something like that, you've got to learn the table. Well, you've got to learn
that's
the
true.
bocce court, right? Because some will veer this way, some will veer that way, some are faster than others, some are slower. So yeah, it's a
Sounds
learning
like a
curve.
very fun sport.
It is.
I gotta try that out now. I definitely have to try that out. So that's this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. What time's it start?
Starts at noon.
Okay.
So the gates open at noon. The tournaments vote day will start at 1.
Okay.
But food trucks, all that kind of stuff should be ready to rock and roll at noontime, and it'll go till about 7. We find that the tournaments will typically start to wrap up between 6:30 ish. So we give it a little bit of time, and then we're usually done by 7 and starting to clean up.
And that's at the Equestrian Center.
It's at the Equestrian Center on Tollgate Road. Yep.
Plenty of parking. So
Yep.
people get out there. You'll have a blast if you go out there. You're going to fill up on food, and you're going to enjoy some music, and you're going to enjoy watching these people play bocce. And trust me, I won't be playing because I don't want to be embarrassed. So actually, I can't play anyways because these are all people that have already qualified.
Well, what'll happen on Saturday? Okay, so it's double elimination, right? So each team will play. You'll get at least 2 games in, and as teams are starting to be eliminated, so we have 4 courts that we're building. So we'll have 4 courts out there that day. And so as time goes on and the teams start to narrow down, some of the courts will open up, and that's when we can have some people that are just hanging out and can play. Yeah.
Then I can practice. All right.
Yeah, then you can practice.
That works. Practice. Hell, this will be the first time I've ever tried it, so I'll be learning the thing. And you guys are also doing a big announcement that weekend, right? Or is that the day
we are?
Before?
So actually, the day before we're having a media day. We'll have several of our area county executives, that kind of stuff. I think Mr. Senator Castley will be there. Mm-hmm. So I think some other ones will be there on Sunday during the Special Olympics. But really, this event here, and this is where we started it at a year ago when we did it at DeLuca's farm, was the fact that we were going to build up to this event. Mm-hmm. And so this will be a ceremonial, rolling of the ball, if you will, instead of ribbon cutting. We're not cutting any ribbon, but it'll be for the SIAB, Society of Italian American Businessmen, will be putting on the Maryland Italian Festival coming October of 2023. It actually is going to run September 29th, September 30th, and October 1st. The reason we picked that date is because obviously October is Italian Heritage Month, so we want to kick off the month of October, with the Maryland Italian Festival, and this is something that we've been working on for a while. Right. We're getting other people involved. This is going to be the largest Italian festival in the state of Maryland.
Wow.
Again, going to be at the Equestrian Center on Tollgate Road, same place that they do the farm fair and that kind of stuff for Harford County's fairs. But coming next year, we're going to have we'll have a live national acts all weekend. Playing. We'll have some local talent there as well too, from music standpoint. A beer, wine, booze garden, that kind of stuff. We'll have. We've got a SIAB pavilion, which will have linguine and crabs, and sausage and peppers pavilion. So we'll have a bunch of food. Again, you're not going to go hungry if you come out. We've got a bunch of other food vendors that are going to be there. Other dry good vendors are going to be there. We'll have a midway of games, carnival rides for both adults and kids. We'll have VIP parking. We'll have VIP cabanas going on, and it's going to be a very, very, very large family fun event. A couple of other things. We're going to have some tutorial tents that are going to teach you how to make wine. They'll teach you how to make pasta. There's probably going to be some other ethnic organizations there, other Harford County and other people from the area, touting, the Irish and Germans and that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a really good, fun family weekend event. The real reason we wanted to do this was, one, we want to celebrate our Italian heritage. That's usually first and foremost. But one of the other things we all do, most of us are got a little gray hair on the side of our head. So we grew up at a time where, parents and grandparents and everybody stayed together. And we were really looking for an event that we could put together to get 2 or 3 generations of families coming, coming with your grandparents, coming with your parents, that kind of stuff, walking around a good time for 3 days. And you can come for 1 day. You can come for all 3 days. I do know that our marketing team right now is working with some of the other Harford County, economic development and Visit Harford, that kind of stuff on hotel packages, so we can bring people and make this a destination for the weekend. And so we're looking really, really forward to this, Rich. It's going to be a lot of work, but we believe that it's going to pay off, and it's going to support local charities to the next level.
So since this is fallen the same time next year as the bocce tournament is this year, is the bocce tournament also going to be
So
in
the
that
bocce
as well?
tournament will be pulled into the festival. Yes. So the bocce
Okay.
tournament will run Saturday and Sunday the same way it's doing here. It's basically, we just got done our linguine and crab feast at the Richland Ballroom this past Saturday. And that's part of what we're rolling into this as well. Now we're still going to do our linguine and crab feast. We're going to move it up a little bit to separate it from the festival a little bit. But
give you guys a break too, right?
Yeah, a couple week break in there instead of back-to-back weekends. But the sauce that we use, the linguine and crab sauce we use, will be featured in our pavilion for 3 days. And so it's going to be a lot of full people walking around that venue.
You sold me on the part when you said you guys are going to be there teaching people how to make pasta.
Yep.
Because that's something I've always wanted to do. And a buddy of mine, every Christmas, his family makes ravioli from scratch. He won't teach me. I'm lucky if I can even get some. And I need to learn how to make it so I can blow him away.
There you go.
Hey, look, Dynamo, I can make it better than you. I doubt it. He's Italian. I'm not. It's just he's been doing it all his life, so I know he'll do it better. That is awesome, man. This is something this is gonna be huge.
Yeah, we picked Harford County. I mean, obviously, there's it's a good open environment out here, right? We're not too far off the 95 corridor, right? So people from Baltimore and DC and Wilmington and Philadelphia can make easy trips down. We figured it's a pretty even venue to bring people in from the area. We're getting a lot of inquiries already from people who live in the DC suburbs and even out western in Howard County, that kind of stuff, thinking about, hey, we would love to come to this thing. And so, as we get the destination packages and all of that kind of stuff put together, we'll have more and more stuff on our website. So if you are looking for information, we are updating our website now. We've went to a new platform here this past month, but for this weekend, www.siabbocce.com. That's SIAB BOCCE.com will get you all the information for this week's tournament. You can pay for tickets online. You can do a sponsorship online if you want to sponsor one of the Special Olympics kids, athletes. And then the Maryland Italian Festival is also live. So it's www.maryland, spelled out, ItalianFestival.com. and get you some more information. That will obviously be updated more and more as time goes on.
Right.
We've got to save the date kind of up there right now.
Wow. Well, since that's a year ahead, anything I can do to help you guys, please, please let me know. And like I mentioned before, I definitely would like to get a group of you on the regular podcast to talk about it and promote it, because this way, if you're looking for out of state vendors or whatever, let them know and they'll be able to come in and
Sure.
um,
We look forward
God,
to that.
this is I'm really looking forward to this, because I'm looking forward to this weekend. I hope I can make it this weekend. But
Please do.
the festival for next year, I have a funny feeling this is going to be probably the biggest festival that Harford County has seen.
Very well could be. We're making contingency plans, and we've got some different things going in play, and obviously keeping the place safe and secure will be one thing, right? And so we're
Mhm.
working with the sheriff's department and other private security, and we're working with logistics people. And like I said, we've got a firm out of Florida, via Productions, that's what they do. They do
Right.
festivals and carnivals and stuff, and so we've hired those guys to help us with the consulting piece of it. So we've been working with those guys for probably 6-8 months now. And we've got the rides, all that kind of stuff is set up, and so it's been a slow process, but it's brick by brick by brick we're getting this thing built
Right.
out. And I think really the only way we could have done this is to start it 18 months in advance. You can't throw something like this together in a couple of months. So
That's smart thinking there, because a lot of people do. They have an idea and they try to rush it and put it together too quick. And one of the things I've always said with an event, you need to start planning it the day after it's over.
yeah,
And with this, because you guys have been working on it for so long already, it's going to become a lot easier for the following year.
yes.
Hopefully, knock on wood.
Hopefully,
Hopefully it
knock on
will.
wood. Yes, let's take something we learned. We learned a little bit last year with the small event. We'll hopefully learn a little bit more with this
Right.
event. Obviously we've done some other events with our galas and our golf outings and crab feasts. But we'll take each of these events, what we've learned, and we'll continue to figure this stuff out. But that's
Yep.
also why we hired experts too, right? Because we're not experts in this field.
Right.
And, we know how to do some things, right? We'll feed you good, but putting on a full blown festival is something that's a little bit out of our realm. So that's why we got some experts and put in place, and a good bit of the people that'll be working the event we'll have a bunch of SIAB people there, but this is going to be a lot of paid employees, if you will,
Yeah.
that are helping us do this. From a logistics standpoint, and flaggers and parking attendants and things like that. It's going to be professional people managing this.
Well, Joe, before we wrap up, do me a
Sure.
favor, because a lot of people don't realize what SIAB does. And I want to thank you for everything that you guys do in the community, because
Okay.
there is a lot you do. So can you just tell everybody that's watching what it is that SIAB actually does?
So we started back in 2013.
Mhm.
Mark Dardozzi and Elio Scaccio kind of got together because they were members of some other Italian organizations in the state. And they said, hey, we don't have anything like this in Harford County, and we want to do some things to give back to Harford County. And and really, there was a lot of Italians living in Harford County, right?
Mhm.
So they wanted to put an organization together. So May of 2013, that started. And we I think at the time there was 5, 6, 7 guys
Right.
that kind of got together, and then I think that following year in the first part of 2014, we got together and put on our first black tie gala, and then later that year we did our first linguine and crab feast. But really, what the organization is about is we're here really to celebrate our Italian heritage, to give back to the community that we live in. And so what we've done is we're a 501c3
Right.
organization, and we raise money for local charities. We've done a lot of different things over the years for a lot of different organizations. It's not only just the fundraising that we do, but we get together. We do. Habitat loves us because we bring 10,
Yeah.
12 guys to a Habitat, and we can knock out a house in in a handful of hours or a good bit of it. Especially since we have a lot of professionals that are professional builders and plumbers and electricians and
Yes.
that kind of stuff in the organization. So, but really, it's about us giving back to the community that we live in, for people who are less fortunate. So typically, we look at giving back. We do scholarships every year, so education is a big piece of what we do. Family and child services is a big piece of what we do. Poverty,
Yeah.
addiction, that kind of stuff. Fighting all of those types of things that we have in the area. And Harford County is no different than any other place. I mean,
Right.
some areas you may not see it as much, but we have just as much here in Harford County as a lot of other places do, and we have a lot of people in need in Harford County, and that's typically that's what we've done. That's how we got started. We've grown. We've continued to grow. We are up to, as we talked a little bit before, we're up to almost 60 members. We kind of fluctuate between 57 and 62 right now.
Right.
We're looking to continue to raise that. Obviously, we look for people to come into the organization that are willing to give back to us. The organization really started around three tenets: was either you lived, you worked, or worshipped in Harford County. And so the organization kind of started as that. As we grow, and as we start to move into things like the Maryland Italian Festival, we'll probably broaden that spectrum a little bit.
Right.
But it's been a heck of a ride. I joined, like I said, in 2015, so I've been on board for a while now. But it's a great group of guys. They give you the shirts off their backs. They're always willing to help in a lot of different ways. And so the organization is really about celebrating the Italian heritage and really giving back to the community.
And you guys do that a lot, and I want to thank you for that, because it seems like I'm always getting press releases about SIAB, about all the
Well,
good
that's
things
good.
they did. Yeah, and I love it. I love it. So I want to thank you again for that, and tell everybody the website one more time.
Okay, so our standard website is www.siab.org. That takes you to the main website. We do have landing pages for both the bocce and the Italian festival, which you can reach from the main site. But the bocce festival is www.siabbocce.com, and it's www.marylanditalianfestival, all spelled out.com for each one of those sites.
Well, Joe, thanks again, and hopefully I'll see you this weekend.
We'd love to see you this weekend.
I would love to get out there, and I'm definitely going to be there next year, because I got to learn how to make pasta, and
Absolutely.
tell my wife she can learn how to make wine. I just want to learn how to make the pasta and find the sweet truck and get
Well,
my
if
cannolis.
she learns how to make wine, you learn how to make pasta. You guys will be set, and then while you're learning, you can enjoy it over in the crab pavilion.
That works. That works for me. Take care, Joe. Thanks
All
a
right, Rich,
lot.
thanks for having me on. We'll see you. Bye.